Welcome to the General's Gentleman.
Alrighty, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. I am actually doing a shoutcast for this, which is something that I didn't really think that I would. I absolutely love Forged Alliance, and I played a fair bit of it over the years. Mainly just at LANs with friends though, not super competitive, so as a result I'm certainly not a high level player. Which if you watched my recent videos which I posted of me playing, then I'm sure you could work that out for yourself. But today I wanted to do a couple of shoutcasts here for Supreme Commander. I thought it would also be quite beneficial for me as a player, so I can get a look at the build orders and the strategies of the high level players and see what they're doing, which I'm clearly not. I'm not very highly ranked. I think my ELO is like 500. These guys are 1700 and 1500, so definitely don't expect any analysis really or any expert insight. I'm just kind of having a bit of a fun time here, I suppose, just seeing what's going on. I know a lot of people have been asking for some shoutcasts of Supreme Commander, so I thought I would give it a bash. But anyway, so today we are on Rigor Highlands, and we're going to have TA4Life at the north as the red Cybran, and this guy as the blue Cybran at the south. His name is actually this guy. So this guy is this guy. And ELO difference is actually pretty significant, 150 in the favor of the red Cybran. So hopefully this won't be a bit too one-sided. We'll have to see. I should also mention that Blake has never played Supreme Commander ever, so that's why he is not present. He wouldn't exactly be able to offer much, like not knowing what any units are. So yeah, I'm curious to see what their builds are. Air Factory is the second factory, and actually the same here as well. So 3 factories already. This is actually really interesting. Sending the commander out as well, so that's actually quite nice. I like that, because on this map in particular you have a couple of points where you have a couple of locations where you have a lot of mass points really tightly packed together. So sending your commander out is generally worth doing. To secure those points, it can be very easy to lose them, and when you have so much mass in a small area, which isn't really that far out of your base, it's not that much of a walk, so we'll give him pretty good access to that. I wonder if TA4Life does the same. It's actually going through the middle, sending the engineers on the right side instead, so that's a little bit interesting. By the way, if you've never played Forged Alliance, I'm not going to be explaining how the game works. That's perhaps something I could do in another video if people are interested. I've done a few of those, like Off-World Trading Company Explained, for example, where I just explain the game for people that haven't watched it. But for now, I'm just going to be having a pretty chilled approach to this. And if those of you who have played Forged Alliance back in the day and would like to give it a bash, again, you actually can play on Forged Alliance Forever. It's basically a community-made platform where you can get the game. You can play online with people. It has its own auto match, has its own leaderboards with the ranks and such, as well as it has its community balance updates to fix a lot of the balance issues which are in the game, which are present. So it's really good. You can play team games, you can play 1v1s. It's really cool. I've actually been playing a little bit recently, but I've probably only played like 50 games in total of Forged Alliance Forever, so still pretty basic, really. Don't really know what to actually talk about. I suppose I probably should have had a flick through some of Guile's shoutcasts. I know Giles is a guy that actually has a lot of subs, and he does, I think it's only content for Forged Alliance, maybe a couple other games in there, but I was actually pretty impressed by that there was someone that does Forged Alliance regularly and has such a big following. I love this game, but I kind of imagine shoutcasting to be a bit boring because it's pretty slow. There isn't really a lot of climatic moments that you can really hype up, which is kind of the best part of shoutcasting, is when you have those exciting play-by-play moments. where you have cool micro, but isn't really any micro on this. Is more about strategy and management of resources and weighing up opportunity cost. Let's have a look at the resource. This guy has a lot more power at the moment, I think. Oh no, I suppose it kind of fluctuates. When you look at the power income on the top right corner, it might be a little bit inaccurate at times. So we have the radars being built, very important in Forge Alliance to have a lot of information about your opponent's actions. The scouts as well will give you the radar plus the radar systems themselves, but they're very vulnerable, so having them behind those shop lockers is pretty important. I don't know if it's just my game, but there's this weird audio glitch where the music only plays for like 10-15 seconds and then it changes track. So I probably should have actually turned the music off, edited it in like I normally do in games that I cast. So we see the air transport being used to ferry some engineers onto these mountain areas which you can't actually go up normally. You will need to get some artillery though, because these point defense and the anti-air will prevent him from actually getting the mass points there. I expect to see the same thing happen from TA4Life. They're actually putting a transport now, so yeah, he's not that far off of it either. And I wonder what the timings are of the tier 2 mass extractor. So we have one now being teched up. Pretty late actually, compared to what I've normally seen and what I've normally done. I normally get it like pretty quick, which is, I suppose, probably not a very good thing. Where they have a lot of factories, so they just have so much production. I suppose this is kind of, this would be a good indication of meta, considering these are very high level players. Going for quick tech can be very, very deadly. And my frame rate is also pretty low as well. 20-25 frames per second. I am recording, so that drags it down, but like, that's actually really surprising. It's such an old game. I suppose when you just have so many things happening on the screen. But FAF is also really bad for performance. I normally record on OBS, but I couldn't get OBS working with this. It wouldn't pick it up, so that was really strange. Perhaps is what I use for 0 hour only because I have Facebook on. Sorry. Let me go ahead and mute that. Hopefully. Anyway, so we have the left side being established here by this guy. He's going to have a couple of forward factories as well and all those mass points secured, giving him a bit of a lead already. And oh, we actually had these mass points get taken out by the assault bot, so that was really nice. Supreme Command is actually a very aggressive game at a high level in 1v1s because tier 2 mass is so cost inefficient compared to tier 1, so you're really going to be fighting over the map, trying to secure as many mass extractors as possible and denying them to your opponent. A lot of reclaiming as well, getting that extra mass income. It's definitely worth doing if you can. So I'd say Supreme Commander, it's a very slow game, but it's very aggressive, so it can be a nice combination for players that don't like the fast-paced fanaticism of other RTS games, like Company of Heroes, for example, or StarCraft. There's a lot of units in the middle for both of our players here. Got a few pickoffs with the artillery. You gotta keep those units moving, otherwise you can get taken out pretty easily. Pushing up the right side as well here, so could stand to lose more of these mass points. But looking at the factories, we've got one of them taking up to tier 2, has a lot of the engineers supporting that as well, so it will take up much quicker. Don't think there's any tier 2 at all here for TA4Life. Trying to push up the left side, but there is actually point defense there, so it's nice to have those little networks of the point defense to prevent little harassments, especially when you have those mass points, which are pretty spread out, and it can take a lot of time to rebuild them if you actually get them harassed. So pretty effective push on the right side here. He actually, I think he's backing off though, because there are reinforcements moving in. He has the scout there, so he sees enemy reinforcements coming. It's really important to mix in those scouts. That's a little blockade of the units here as well. Should be able to hold the line here. Overall, pretty efficient trades, I suppose, for red. It's hard to say who's actually ahead in terms of the economy. It looks like it's this guy though, as far as I can tell, the blue Cybran. He has these mountains secured as well, which TA4Life isn't that far off. He'll have them soon. I wonder what the tier 2 situation is like. We have 2 tier 2 ass extractors and just the one here, so that would also make a pretty big difference. I'm sure we have a few more being upgraded at the moment as well. Actually, both of them, 2 at a time. Other than that, we actually have the tier 2 upgrade from this guy's commander. Getting a couple of point defense, missile defense, and the power, so that's nice to see. Looking at the commander of the red guy, it's actually the same. He has his tier 2 commander, getting the tier 2 point defense. On the mountain, so I wonder if that gives him a defensive bonus where units can't actually attack up that. Of course artillery will, but mainly like assault bots might not be able to. We have the air scout as well, so it is giving good vision. It's always important to have those air scouts so you can see where your opponent's vulnerable. For example, out here, there actually isn't that much defending it, so maybe he'll try and send in all of those units and take out those 4 mass extractors. Or 3 mass extractors. That would be a really nice pickup if he can do it, because the army's on the side. Actually building some point defense as well, 2 point defense. A lot of interceptors as well. They're actually going to be fighting here too. A couple of gunships are mixed in, so he wanted to take out the mass extractors. Looks like blue has the upper hand. He has way more interceptors and not pulling the army back either, so that's actually a pretty big loss. If you lose the air superiority in Supreme Commander, then you can definitely have a hard time dealing with bombers and gunships. But, and on a map that's quite spread out, that can be a little bit devastating. Especially because when you have all these mountain points, getting air control and bombing them or killing gunships is going to be probably the best approach to that. Nice little gunship play here, going to be taking out all these artillery units, which otherwise would take out the mass and the point defense. So only the tier 1 gunship, Cybran getting access to that, but it should be enough to keep him at bay. No, he actually isn't going for the kill there. Maybe he's not washing that one. So we do actually have the a couple of tier 2 rocket bots being mixed in, the heavy tanks as well. Much stronger than the tier 1, of course, but there is actually the point defense here, so the red can't push too far in. There's a nice little concave though. He's going to lose a lot of his army. Surprised he's actually committing to this. The tier 2 can't fire through the mountain, but there's more being completed. Yeah, he's going to lose most of this army, I think. Surprised he's actually committing to this. May need to just get some tier 2 mobile missile launchers and take those out from afar instead. Because now with all that army down, then that's going to leave him vulnerable to being sieged by the mobile missile launchers. Because you have to attack those with a land army. You know, even if you get shields, they'll eventually go down. However, on the right side, this is a nice little run by. Got a fair bit of artillery units could take out this little base on the side. The same's being done here as well. The point defense and the mass point, even the radar was taking out as well. That's going to be giving a pretty big blind spot, especially if he takes out this radar as well. That's a fair bit of the map he won't have vision on, or rather radar on. Because he probably has one here. Oh, that's not too bad. He has a radar point there, but at least he doesn't know if there's an army pushing up. So, oh, and there's another radar here. Yeah, so look at it. There's just so many radar. structures being put up. Very important in these high level games is to have full information. The worst thing possible is getting caught out of position. It's really what Supreme Command is all about, is outmaneuvering your opponent, catching them out of position and taking out all their mass points and other structures. So it's very back and forwards in terms of positioning. For example, now he took out a lot of the... took out the mass, he took out the point defense. Couldn't actually get the factory though. That would have been really nice, but even then there was more engineers moving in, so he could have rebuilt those pretty quickly. So a pretty solid line of point defense. Shield's actually not covering the point defense though. That's kind of a weird placement. I wonder why I put it there. And the stealth upgrade here for this guy. So that's going to allow his commander to be hidden from radar. A very nice upgrade just because your commanders are so vulnerable as the late game draws out to gunships and bombers in particular. So you really don't want to get caught out. The tactical missile launchers in particular can snipe them down very quickly. So you want to make sure your commander is hidden or defended, or both ideally. Other than that, the resource income is pretty similar. I believe this means that 67 mass for both of our players and a bit of a power advantage, 1.4k for TA4Life as opposed to the 1.1. Much bigger ground army though for this guy. He's got a lot of stuff here. They are only tier 1 though, so it's not really that impressive, especially given how much tier 2 point defense is in the middle. But if he goes for a nice flank on the right, that could be very devastating. There's only a couple of tier 1 point defense, and that won't really do much against that many units, but... Oh, actually, no, just kidding. Here we go, look at this. Loyalists, the tier 3 siege assault bots. That is a different story. That's going to be able to take out everything on the right side. There is a tier 2 factory, but it won't be able to get anything out in time. Yeah, that's actually a really nice tech up. He's got one tier 3 factory. I think that's all he actually has at the moment, but... Pretty quick. 17 minutes and we already have the tier 3. I definitely don't get tier 3 out that fast. And we have the tier 3 upgrade coming out for TA4Life as well. A lot of engineers, so he can actually get that upgraded very fast. And then get the tier 3 production out as well. A couple of the mobile missile launch is going to be barraging down the point defense, and because they're not in the power generator, they do go down. There is a tactical missile defense, but one of them isn't enough against that many. Yeah, this is a really nice put. They're taking the mass income down drastically. Went down from about 70 to only 53 now, because they were all tier 2. Well, these three were at least. These points are also quite vulnerable. The commander may get quite out of position, though. I think it should be fine, though, with the overcharge. If there was 4, maybe it'd be a different story, 5 in particular, but with 3, I'm pretty sure he'll be okay here. He has the tier 2 upgrade, so he has 1200 health. Or 12,000, rather. Some bombers overhead as well. Yeah, he survives that one. Relatively unscathed. Very important as well, actually, because otherwise, if they got through, that would have taken out the entire base. I believe the Loyalists aren't amphibious. Volatile and tactical missile deflections. They're not amphibious. Whereas the bricks, which are the other tier 3 assault bots or whatever they're called, those actually are. So they could have snuck through the water and just gone for the base and taken him out. But because of the Loyalists aren't amphibious, he had to go through the middle. So limiting the mobility a little bit, but the Loyalists are much faster than the bricks. So really good DPS as well. They're just not very durable, not having much health. But yeah, this is actually a really big swing now for this guy, because he's taken out a lot of the mass income. Maybe worth dropping off a couple of Loyalists on the mountains here, because these are tier 2 mass extractors as well. There isn't really any army at all here for this guy. All he has, of TA4Life I mean, because all he has are these tier 2 point defense in the middle. He's going to start he's producing some now. He has a couple of Loyalists on the field. But he's definitely outnumbered. Other than that, we have the 2 more of the tier 2 factories being upgraded to tier 3. Ooh, what's this? He's going for the base. Wow. Tactical missile launcher. Where is he firing that? Is he going for the commander? There is actually some missile defense though. There's one there. Yeah, it didn't really do too much, the missile launcher. Nice try though. It's going to be the loyalists fighting each other. Definitely the numbers advantage for the blue. He's going to lose a few of these. That's actually a really big loss too. And this commander could get caught out of position. There's 5 of them. That should be a different story, but he actually has the water nearby which he can retreat to, as well as getting a couple of overcharge snipes. Some more loyalists are being reinforced as well. Not fully committing to this. Yeah, let's see where this actually goes, but I'm pretty sure it won't do much against the missile defense. Yeah, he actually has a fair bit. But this mass lead is getting a little bit out of hand here. Currently it's 89 for this guy and only 59 for TA4Life. Don't think we have any tier 3 just yet. No, we don't, but we do have pretty much all the points at tier 2. The commander's going to be rebuilding these points. Could actually reclaim these wrecks as well. It's going to be very, very valuable. Getting the reclamation on the tier 3. We actually have the bricks as well now, so that's going to be a lot more durable, a lot stronger than the loyalists, but of course they are slower. A little bit vulnerable to the overcharge as well in low numbers, but that's going to be a very strong front line which you can just take out all these point defense, especially with the siege bots here mixed in as well. Wait, what? Look at that. That's the tactical missile deflection. It just turns them around. That's fantastic. I haven't actually seen that in action before. TA4Life holding on. Starting to even things out here. Nice little attack on the side. These are tier 1 point defense. Should be okay against only a handful. Another little army here as well with the tier 3 bots, but gonna get caught out of position, I think. Needs to try and rebuild all these mass extractors. Where did the commander go? I've actually lost where he is for the red. Oh, there he is, up here. Tier 2 point defense holding on the left side. This is actually really vulnerable right now. He could lose all of these mass extractors if he goes for it. He's going to be building up some more tier 3 unit. Look, he's got 3 tier 3 factories. And they're pretty close to the base as well. I mean, they're on the side, so you can actually flank all of those defenses. That's a little bit scary here. The production is just so much higher for this guy, as well as his income is still higher as well. But they won't last too long against this many loyalists. He's going for these points as well. Look, these are all tier 2 mass extractors. It's going to be a massive blow if they go down. Nice pickup here by TA4Life. Definitely needed as well. That being said, he managed to get cornered. Counter-attack as well, but these are only tier 1, so they won't do too much. Yeah, they get routed. Here we go. He actually doesn't go for the side base. He goes instead for the mountains, and he's completely caught off. Nowhere to retreat. He's going to lose all these loyalists. And this could actually allow for a massive counter-attack. That's really most of the army, apart from a couple of units on the side here. That's all of them down with about 6 or 7 left. So this army, actually, no, even more than that, it's about 10. So they could actually go straight for the kill. Go around the side, avoid the point defense, maybe go for his base. What's he transporting? Some more engineers. A lot of interceptors as well. So he's producing tier 3 units 6 at a time. That's pretty insane. Let's see what his income like. He's already drained on mass, of course, as you would expect. Yeah, look at this flank of the loyalists. So they're actually really fast. So it's a nice choice to have them. But it looks like TA4Life, he sees them coming and he will be sending some units to defend. Yeah, that's nice. But I don't know if he can defend against this many units here. Sending in the loyalists is this guy. Yeah, nice. Mobile stealth field system. That's cool. Prevents you from seeing them in the radar. Where are all the bricks gone? I haven't actually seen them do anything. Yeah, they're just so slow. And this could be the GG here. That's a pretty scary army moving in. Is there much point defense? No, I don't think there is. The engineers are all just producing more. I mean, the production is pretty fast because of how many supporting engineers there are, but not comparable to 6 factories, 6 tier 3 factories. And the commander's off to the side as well, so he can't really do much here, but even then he would just get taken out instantly. Mass income actually is pretty much evened up now, but not for long. All of his power is exposed as well. If he goes for that tier 3 factory, that's going to be all the production of the tier 3 units. That's actually probably the most important target, but no, 19,000 health. That's crazy. Why does it have that much? These ones only have 10,000. Yeah, GG. Now what went wrong? Don't expect any analysis from me, honestly. As I said, I'm not good at this game. I mean that push from the right side was a very effective push. That got the income down considerably, but I think just the production was better. I mean, he had a lot more units producing where there was only the 1 tier 3 factory, and they came out quicker, and they came out at a timing where there wasn't anything that could actually hold, and they got so much damage done. So yeah, I suppose just better timing of his tier 3, better economy slightly too. And that was actually impressive given that this guy had less ELO. Again, it was 1532 against the 1688. So that must be pretty nice win for him. But yeah, that's this game wrapped up. There's actually a lot of fun casting. I enjoyed seeing the strategies and what happened. I suppose it's a pretty small map relative to some of the other maps. You get some of the larger maps, even 1v1, were just ridiculous. They wouldn't be fun to cast, but no, I had fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this as well. Let me know if you want to see more Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever. And if you do want to support the channel, then you can do so via Patreon. That is my full-time job now, so I'm doing this every day, getting more and more videos out. So any help there would be greatly appreciated. And this is what, like 8 RTS games that we do shoutcasting for? There's so many of them now. Company of Heroes, 0 Hour, DAO 2, DAO 1, Rise of the Nations, StarCraft. It's getting out of hand, but no, it's cool. Expanding the repertoire of RTS. But anyway, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.